WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Today marks the 19th anniversary of the mass shooting at Columbine High School, and students across the country took part in a national walkout today.
Some students at Mississippi School for Math and Science in Columbus also joined in on that national movement. Many students are pushing for stricter gun control, and they're honoring victims of gun violence. The country has already seen more than a dozen school shootings in 2018 alone, the deadliest in Parkland, Florida, where 17 students were killed in February.
Aberdeen educators are trying to break down walls in test scoring. For the past few years, the results have been disappointing, with less than half the students scoring proficient in basic English, math, and science.
Teachers and administrators are using several strategies to get students prepared and even pumped up for the tests. Parker King was at the school today to find out how. He joins us in the studio now with more.
I mean, we all can agree it can be hard to motivate kids for a test because, let's be honest, when have tests ever been fun? But from the looks of things at Bell Shivers, their new approach to the state test seems to be making some progress.
Good. All right, so which statement?
Students engage in the classroom at Bell Shivers Middle School in Aberdeen. With state tests approaching, the state of mind is positive.
Right now, the kids are all hyped up.
I think they're more excited than nervous.
For a school district receiving C ratings and low proficiency in basic subjects, teachers decided to take a more hands-on approach.
We look at the kids' data. At the beginning of the year, we take a test, and it tells if the kids are in the low percentile. It breaks them down low, high, middle.
And teachers work with students in those low percentile areas, giving them the confidence they need when state testing comes around.
I think they are very aware that they are capable of doing amazing on these tests. They work so hard every single day from the second they walk in to the second they leave. So I think there's just a lot of excitement in the air.
When we visited Bell Shivers, students were actually going over last year's state test. Teachers hope these exercises will have students leaving for the weekend with all of their practice fresh on the mind.
Map test review, just any kind of problems in math that the kids need. We've been refocusing, redirecting, doing everything we can. Language as well. We've been reading passages, dissecting passages, part A, part B, anything we can do to get the kids hyped up about this test and on their way to proficiency and above.
And from the looks of things, they sound ready. And state testing for Bell Shivers begins next week. We wish them the best of luck.
Getting them pumped up there. Bell Shivers Middle School in Aberdeen there is getting fired up for those state tests. The theme of the pep rally is Game Changer. Mayor Maurice Howard was the guest speaker, and Aberdeen and police fire departments played against the school's 8th grade basketball team. Educators hope this event will encourage students to perform better in the classroom.
Looks like a lot of fun. Well, child abuse awareness was the focus of a special program and walk today. Adults and children took the Allen Hunter walking track in Macon to walk a mile in their shoes. Noxubee County Child Protection Services hosted this event. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month.
New at 6, Quinderis Burris, a Baldwin, turned 14 last Saturday. He will spend this Saturday sitting in jail under a capital murder indictment. A Lake County grand jury indicted Burris on a capital murder charge for his alleged role in the October 2017 slaying of a Baldwin car dealer. Burris and 2 others were arrested shortly after 70-year-old Thomas Adams Jr. was shot to death in his South 2nd Street home. Adams was well known for selling cars for decades from his Baldwin home. At the time, investigators suspected robbery as the motive. His wallet was found nearby. The 2 others arrested at the time have not been indicted at this time. Burris is being held without bond.
Oxford police make an arrest in a Thursday afternoon shooting. 25-year-old Xavier Shipp is charged with aggravated assault, drive-by shooting, and possession of a stolen firearm. The shooting happened near Rockets One Stop Express on Molly Bar Road. A caller identified Shipp of Holly Springs as the alleged shooter. Investigators tracked Shipp's car to Jackson Avenue near 5th Street. That's where they found a stolen gun believed to be the weapon used in the gas station shooting. Shipp's bond is set at $500,000.
A visit to downtown Aberdeen means unlimited access to city water. About 2 years ago, the Aberdeen Water Department uncapped a fire hydrant and placed a spigot. The department also installed an open faucet both on South Meridian Street. Newly elected Ward 2 Alderman Doug Stone says the original intention was to assist the downtown area and allow merchants to water plants in city-owned planters. According to Aberdeen Mayor Maurice Howard, there was no meeting or discussion about the decision, and it's a big issue for the city's budget.
There's not a meter. We have no account for how much water is being used. But yet we have an alderman that has told our city employee, I won't call their name, to go and uncap it so everyone downtown can freely use it, and we have no record of how much is being used.
It's non-metered water, and it's a courtesy of the city to the Main Street organization and the merchants for the beautification of the city of Aberdeen.
Howard claims there are no minutes recorded for the alderman meeting in regard to opening the water source. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Lots of sunshine out there right now. A live look in downtown Columbus. We've got temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s currently across our region. A great Friday as we get ready to wrap up the work week. We'll be cooling down here as we go throughout the evening hours, but skies will remain clear. There's some unsettled weather way back there across the high plains. That will be in here tomorrow night and Sunday. Get out there and enjoy the evening. 60s and then some 50s here. Lows tonight down into the mid 40s, and we're back into the 70s for Saturday. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Guntown Middle School students see firsthand what it's like to drive distracted and impaired without putting themselves in danger.
As Allie Martin reports, with the Department of Transportation's help, they are learning to survive your drive.
Like many of her friends, Guntown Middle School student Kelsey Fisk didn't have much trouble operating the pedal car when her vision wasn't impaired. But when the Fatal Vision goggles were used, it was a different story.
Like if it was a cone in front of you, it would be like to the left or the right. It's like 3 cones, but it's actually 1.
MDOT brought its Survive Your Drive Y'all to the school. Safety educators let students experience the seatbelt convincer, which represents the impact of a crash at 5 miles an hour. There was also a virtual driver simulator showing the dangers of texting while driving.
We want to keep our highways safe, and so if we can educate the young students, then hopefully they can help educate some of the older people, the parents and grandparents, and they themselves will not text and drive and keep our roads safe.
These middle schoolers don't have their driver's licenses yet, but they're already making some important choices, and that's the whole point of Survive Your Drive.
So at this point, with most 7th graders, they're going through a transition of trying to fit in and being mostly of a social class. So it's very important that they make good decisions so consequences won't affect them in the long term.
Maketra Richardson is with LifeCore Health Group. She was letting youngsters try and walk a straight line holding a kickball, wearing blurred vision goggles that simulate drug and alcohol use. 7th grader Luke Wood says he got the message.
I felt like I was perfect with my motion and everything. I felt my form was awesome, but they said I was about 10 foot off the line.
MDOT brings its interactive program to the middle school each year. In Guntown, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Where do I go now?
And more than 200 students experienced Survive Your Drive.
He was having a little trouble there, wasn't he?
He was.
All right, the skies around Columbus are going to be a little busier than usual this weekend.
It's time to go wheels up for fun when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. A weekend of high-flying fun is preparing for takeoff at Columbus Air Force Base. The base will open its gates for Wings Over Columbus tomorrow. In addition to performances by more than a dozen aerial teams, the event will feature some exciting attractions, music, and of course, great food. The teams were out this morning, as a matter of fact, practicing in preparation for the thousands that are expected to attend the free event.
We have the F-22 demo team, we've got the C-17 demo team, and the Golden Knights are going to be performing, and we've got up to 15 acts flying.
The gates open at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The opening ceremony is at 11 a.m. and all the events last until 4 o'clock.
If you were near the Golden Triangle Regional Airport, you may have seen some of this weekend's performers practicing. Vintage warbirds will be among the attractions at Wings Over Columbus, and our Quentin Smith got the chance to take a fly along in a World War II T-6 Texan. For these pilots, though, it's about the need for speed.
Just getting up, you know, you can get up on a day like today and get up in altitude, and especially if you're by yourself, you can just enjoy God's creation. I mean, this stuff was put here for us, and just out there by yourself, it's awesome.
We love flying. We come out here on a day like this, and you just can't beat it. We get together and we get these old World War II airplanes together and get them up and flying. You get to feel them, smell them, take folks flying that have never been flying before. And it really is that camaraderie with fellow pilots, and then getting to interact with the crowd too.
For a full list of events, go to our website, WCBI.com.
The weather is going to cooperate for the air show. Wings Over Columbus, we're looking at increasing clouds. A nice day, mid-70s if you're heading to Starkville for Super Bulldog Weekend and the Arts Fest, also into the 70s. The weekend forecast is next. And also in Columbus, not too shabby here. Lots and lots of sunshine for our Friday. We've got temperatures right around 70, so we've overachieved as far as the temperature is concerned, and we will be a little bit warmer tomorrow. There's a big area of low pressure out in the Four Corners, some storms out there across the high plains. That system is coming our way for tomorrow night and Sunday. Now, the severe weather threat for Saturday off to our southwest. Now, for Sunday, officially just to our south, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that color shifted back to the north a little bit. Can't rule out a few stronger storms around here, especially from Columbus and south on Sunday. So we'll just see how it all plays out as the system comes on in here. Overall, the most unstable air will be to our south on Sunday, but we're too close for comfort to completely rule it out. Clouds will tend to increase on our Saturday. We do stay dry, so those outdoor plans for tomorrow that you may have, go out there, take advantage of the great weather. Rain and storm activity comes on in to the region on Sunday. Locally heavy rain here too on Sunday, and then some lingering showers and some cloud cover for Monday. We may squeeze in between 1 to 2+ inches of rain here for Sunday. So the second half of the weekend, pretty soggy tomorrow. Absolutely gorgeous. Down into the mid-40s tonight, clear and quiet, not as chilly. Here's our planner for tomorrow. 9 o'clock, 57 by noon, around 70, 74 at 3 o'clock, 72 early tomorrow evening. It's looking great. Here's our city-by-city forecast. 74 in Pontotoc and Ripley, 76 Tupelo, and in Aberdeen. Farther south, we're looking at temperatures into the mid-70s as well around the Golden Triangle area. And for you in West Alabama too, mid-70s, a fair amount of sunshine, winds from the southeast at 10 to 15. Here's our 7-day forecast. You can see that chance of rain, 100%. On Sunday. It's a very rare occurrence we put a 100% chance of rain, but it looks like it will be a soaker of a Saturday, or Sunday rather, for us. Some unsettled weather early next week. We will be staying below average for a good chunk of the next 7 days here, with some lingering showers through the next work week.
Coming up, a preview of tonight's baseball and fast pitch action, plus a look ahead at Saturday's spring football games. That's next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The wait continues for the final ruling from the NCAA in regards to Ole Miss and their football team's second year of a bowl ban. The Clarion Ledger's Antonio Morales reported on Friday that Ole Miss acknowledged it has the Committee on Infractions response to its notice of appeal. Ole Miss will work through release and confidentiality details before it publishes the response. So just, again, kick back, relax. This is going to take a while to really settle itself out, because then Ole Miss is going to have its response to the NCAA's response, and the NCAA will have its final ruling on Ole Miss's response, and Ole Miss could appeal again. It's a mess. Just let it happen. It's just chaos. So anyway, we actually have college football this Saturday, so that should maybe help alleviate your pains as we deal through other issues off the field. We'll get things started at noon with Southern Miss. They will hold their black and gold spring game down in Hattiesburg. They'll kick that one off at noon. Alabama, the A-Day game will be at 1 p.m. You can watch that game on ESPN. Mississippi State's maroon and white spring game will be at 3 p.m. You can watch the game on SEC Network. I'll be there at Davis Wade Stadium and have a recap for you coming up tomorrow night on WCBI Sports. By the way, Nick Fitzgerald, Jeffrey Simmons, Keith Mixon, and Stephen Guidry will all not play due to injuries or other issues. More than likely, it's probably just injuries or just being precautionary. So expect Keaton Thompson to take just about all the snaps for Mississippi State coming up tomorrow. And then Georgia's G-Day will be also at the same time Mississippi State. You can watch their spring game on ESPN. To baseball now. It will be a busy Saturday of baseball in the SEC, especially here in the Magnolia State to beat the Sunday Storms. Both MSU and Ole Miss will play Saturday doubleheaders. MSU will start their Saturday double dip at noon, while Ole Miss will start theirs at 1:30. Both game twos of the doubleheaders will start 45 minutes after the completion of their game one. We have more information on both of those series decisions on making Saturday doubleheaders on our website at WCBI.com. Mississippi State softball will also be playing a doubleheader against Florida. That will start tomorrow at 1 p.m. at News Park. So your weekend series in the SEC, a lot of good matchups, but maybe those bottom three are the best. Obviously, Auburn, Alabama is a big one, but Georgia, Ole Miss, Florida, Kentucky, and obviously Arkansas and Mississippi State. The Bulldogs and Hogs and the Rebels and the Bulldogs about to get started from Swayze and Duty Noble. We'll recap those games with highlights coming up tonight, but those are both pretty big series for both teams. Ole Miss got to have a series win after dropping your last two, and for Mississippi State, this is really going to be your last gasp effort to try to possibly put your name back in the conversation to even have a chance to make it into a regional. But Arkansas can absolutely mash. So the Bulldog pitchers are going to have their work cut out for themselves this weekend. And lastly, to golf, second round action still in play at the North Mississippi Classic at the Country Club of Oxford. They're just about finished up with the second round. Braden Thornberry, brilliant on the day, carding a 369 for his second round. He hit 15 greens and 11 fairways. Now, he's even par for the tournament, which is currently 7 shots off the lead. With that performance, Thornberry currently expected to make the cut. The projected cut, by the way, is at even par, so sort of holding your breath right there. Itawamba AHS grad Chad Ramey, by the way, had a great first round, finishing at even par yesterday. Got off to a great start on day 2, but faded on the back 9, finishing at 10 over for the day. He will not make the cut at the web.com North Mississippi Classic. Third round action will continue tomorrow, and obviously you're going to have to keep an eye on what's going to happen with final round action on Sunday due to the weather in the area. You know, Keith just cannot seem to give us a break over the weekend. I don't know what it is. Keith, we do so much for you. Why can't you do just a little bit for us on the weekends? He cannot control the weather, by the way. I'm just giving him a hard time. He's going to give you a last look at your forecast when we return.
Shot over here at Duty Noble. Look at that scene right there. Folks gathering for the baseball game tonight. Gorgeous weather. The doubleheader tomorrow should be A-OK as well. So we've actually got a great Saturday here. I know we've had some marginal weekends of late, but Sunday may be a disaster, so get out there for tomorrow.
All right, enjoy.
Exactly. All right, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.